Everybody, to the conclusion of the data science competition, Detecting Fake News. We have a submission from Sanibel Vega, and she's going to walk us through what she did. I've taken a look at it, and it looks really interesting and exciting. So Sandy, welcome. Tell us what you did.
Okay, basically what I did is just like decided to import some data, which I have done in with the data that you provided with some of the link, and it was interested finding out some of the news and some of the interest about the true and fake news, which I compare both of them. That's my idea, a way for me to understand or make the viewer to understand more.
Yep, for
And
sure.
also at the final, I input like a AI detection where I can input the data that I collected and it can answer me back if it is fake or if it is true.
I know, that's pretty nice. And I can see that having an application like a browser plugin that can evaluate the news stories on the site you're in and give you a check or an X to sort of tell you if what you're looking at is legitimate. Are you able to share your work? Can we see your Jupyter notebook and the work that you did?
Sure.
All right.
Uh, I cannot share my screen for some reason. It
Oh,
says,
right. I have to give you permissions. Hang on a second. Let me see. How do I do that? Participants, more. Okay. Now you should be able to present. All right. Well, that looks good. We can see what you're doing. So
okay.
show us your approach.
Okay, so basically what I did is just like how you said about like organizing. So I input for this, and basically I did is just like input the table, which is having the text, the title, the subject, and the date, and also the
And
true.
to repeat, this is a different data set, right? You found this data set
Yes.
and applied the approach to it. Okay, good.
And also this is where I input the information,
Mhm.
where I find it interesting because I think that information will give more aspect for data science. And this is the
And
fake news.
if I can jump in, so your real news, it looks like you have 21,417 rows. And then we scroll down to the fake news so that I can see the row count there, 23,481. So your full data set here is about 10 times the size of the testing and training data set that you started out with. So this is a much bigger data set to look at. So that I thought that was very interesting too.
And also what I did for this one is like I put machine learning to tell which is fake or true.
Yeah.
For example, this one I put 0 and the 0 means they're fake.
Mm-hmm.
And right here I did the other column and show like both of them, which this one have a text, a subject, and the date and category, and this one doesn't have the date.
I see that.
And also this one, I decided to input with the title, text, subject, and category, because subject is where we can tell which type of news are represented to real and fake.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And that's something that was not in the original example. So there are lots of ways that you can look at the data. Certainly looking at it by subject is one of them. That's really good.
So I decided to put 1 is for true news, and 0 is for fake news.
Very
Then
good.
I keep going, and then I went to the data set, the graph data set.
Okay.
And for this one, it just go back to all the way to the AI detection news.
Okay. Yeah, that's like your data cleanup, right? I see
Yeah.
you're taking care of your URLs and your special characters and things like that.
And this one I decided to input a graph because like I think is a very good idea to put a graph because like it's better to compare with two data set, which is fake and true news. So I decided to put it, and then I decided to put a graph for to compare which is the news, which type of news there are.
Yep.
So this is all the fake and true data. So we put it all together. I decided to put it all together to see
So
like,
before you move on, scroll up to the category one. So if I'm reading that correctly, there were slightly more fake stories than real stories. Is that right?
yes.
That's a great comparison. It also helps you to basically validate that the sample sizes are comparable. If you had a very, very small fraction of one or the other, it would be harder to make a good prediction. But with the sample sizes roughly equivalent, you know you're going to get good data out of your model. So very good.
And for anyone that doesn't understand which is fake and which is true, this is the true data, true news, and this is the fake news.
Yeah, I
Because
like
I
that you
put,
did fake with a 0 and true with a 1.
yeah.
That's very good binary speak. I like it.
And this one will show you something else. Let me see if it can run. Because sometimes I just need to redo it over.
Yeah.
Let me just refresh.
I noticed in the copy you sent me, you had run lines like 1,500 times or something. So I can tell you really, you really ran it a lot.
Yeah, okay, right here. So I decided to put the trainer, which is comparing to, and see if it is true
Okay.
with the data set, like how many percent it have right here. They
Yeah.
give you like this is why I decided to use this one than other I think the other version because I heard that I read that there's other version that can do like comparing the how many percent does it give you like true or fake.
Yeah.
So I decided to choose this one because it's better option for me.
So you got an accuracy rate of nearly 99%. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really, really high. We were looking at in some of the models in the example an accuracy of more like 80%. So you improved on that significantly.
And now I need to copy from here.
Okay.
Like this is the data set. This is like the manual test.
Mhm.
I got it from a website
Mhm.
and it just like good example for it to compare. Let's see. Okay, right here.
Mhm.
Now I put uh,
Yeah, look at that. You have the input right there, and the prediction is true news and not fake news. Look at that. That is very, very cool.
let me see if it worked for a fake news. I tried yesterday and let me see which one is it.
Fake news.
For example, this one is like good way to tell like apart and even they go to the link. I say that it
Uh-huh.
doesn't found.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That is really good. So, what you did was using machine learning and a large data set, you were able to train a model that leads you to a prediction on a story by story basis. That is really great. So, like I've said, I kind of imagine this work becoming a browser plugin, and what you've got right there could be just slightly modified into the code of the browser to feed the text that it finds and give kind of a stamp of approval. I really like that, Sandy. That's fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to show us?
That is it. Basically, I was about to work more to it, but like I was kind of really late
Yeah,
since I was like I feel like this is where I wanted to leave it and just like feel confident with it
yeah.
because like I like my work and maybe in the future I will try to input more
Oh.
because it was fun coding with it and figuring out like seeing how it work.
Well, I think you did a great job. Let's give Sandy a round of applause, virtual applause. I really like what you did with that, and I especially appreciate how you really went your own direction with it. You really, took the example and you used it as an example of what was possible, and then you directed it at this tool to look at any story. And I think that's a really, really good outcome, and very, very good representation of what this contest was all about. So very, very good job.